Allegations of forged documents and fraud were on full display in one of the most talked about hearings in Nashville. For the first time, Jack Byrd is taking the stand to defend his security company from years of complaints over private guards posing as police. News Channel 5 Investigates reporter Levi Ismail was back to witness day 2 of testimony that ultimately may determine if Byrd's company will keep its security guard license.
We never got a clear answer on why Jack Byrd says some security guards had law enforcement credentials verified while others wore police patches without any question. State attorneys described it as a pattern of misconduct they believe may have put the public at risk. This was the day that Jack Byrd told us he had been waiting for.
So your testimony under oath is that the Post Commission approved that patch.
They were sent this design.
Byrd testified that his police patch was approved by the state at some point over the past couple years, but post officials who regulate police argued that never happened. Still, this was Byrd's first chance to testify after years of complaints over his company, Solaren Risk Management, deploying security guards dressed as police.
They signed and swore on paper saying that they are what they are.
Byrd explained that his interview process includes gathering as much about someone's law enforcement experience and credentials as possible. He later used those credentials to justify dressing his guards in police patches, even if none of these candidates had ever served as police in the state or anywhere else.
Well, are you post certified?
No.
Did you wear a patch that included the word police while you were working as a security guard for Solaren?
Yes.
Nearly every one of Byrd's security guards who testified between Wednesday and Thursday said they felt uncomfortable and at times refused to wear a patch that called them something they're not.
Did you ever wear the shirt that you were issued that said police on it?
No.
Why not?
Not a police.
Byrd responded that he believed everyone had been properly vetted, but admits that he may have relied too much on what they were told without verifying any of it.
You did not verify with his agency that he was not a full-time officer before he worked 1,500 hours in a patch that said police.
We verified it was sworn testimony from the individual, and that's what we did.
But probably one of the most stunning revelations came when former Millersville Police Chief and Solaren trainer Melvin Brown took the stand. He testified that he doesn't know how his signature appeared on the Solaren training certificates in his hands because he would never sign anything if the dates were off by years.
I certainly wouldn't have filled out 2024 forms in 22 and 23, so for me, beyond any doubt, I didn't fill these forms in.
Byrd's attorneys scrambled to make sense of what they just heard, but Byrd maintained that he's made changes since 2023 to the patches they use and the way they verify.
When did you start working as a contract security company?
2017.
So these people could have been on post with firearms, providing services for clients without being verified if they were full-time law enforcement officers?
They were verified.
We will be back Friday morning for the last day of testimony. Now, if the judge decides that Solaren broke the rules when they had security wearing police gear, the company could face losing their license and paying a fine. With News Channel 5 Investigates, I'm Levi Ismail.